Hello, and good morning. Alright, so today is actually one that's a combination of a couple different requests for more or less a similar thing. We had a request from Vin to see Gryphons versus Dragons, had a request from Cow to see a herd of cows in here, and we had another one just to see a fight between all beast units. So, right here we have the Scaled Herd. They're a group of cows that grew scales and wings one day. As they do, you know, pretty normal stuff. And then we got the Scorpion Wield here, you know, just kind of here to rock things like a hurricane. And, alright, make this happen. So they've all been given a mix of pretty much all their skills. The dragons have all of their skills except for max TP because they don't need it. I didn't put Bash on anyone because it seems a little bit unnecessary. The Gryphons, actually before I forget, first off, let me set these guys to manual, or, oh, right. Actually, courtesy of Rakes, actually, this whole setting AI thing is no longer necessary. So they'll all just go and do stuff now, although I probably should automate messages again, just in case. Messages, there we go, that option just keeps resetting itself, unfortunately, but anyway. So, yeah, courtesy of Rakes, I now have a file that's essentially exactly like I want it, to go and pretty much recruit anything and do anything and all of that sort of thing, so it's way easier to deal with. So yes, the scaled herd will occasionally moo. They've all been set to moo at different situations, so they won't be doing that constantly, but they are required to moo. Now, pretty much the way this works, I have a file that, like I said, is pretty much able to do anything that I need it to now. That really opened up options. I don't have to, it doesn't take me like 3 hours to friggin' edit a team anymore. Just because before I was having a little bit of an issue putting that together, because for some reason any file that I was putting together for a maxed out party wasn't exactly working, and in order to access all abilities without bugging out the game, you basically need to set the classes party all the way up to 50. So, let's just say there were problems, there were some glitches. That's all better now. So, thank you, Mr. Rakes, for those codes. As before, this is running with, I can probably just show it here. We go to the cheats here. Oops, I forgot that opens up Steam too. Go away, Steam, I don't need you right now. Alright, if we go to the cheats here, basically 32 times speed level ups, that's or 32 times skill rank, and I forgot to actually turn it on for this one. Basically this means, as before, they all rank up their augments over the course of the fight, and or any relevant skills. So you should see them doing cool stuff now. But okay, so as far as their different skills go, the dragons got all of theirs except for max TP. Again, they don't really need it because none of their... they don't really have any need to store up points. A lot of their abilities can just basically be used as they are as soon as their turn comes up because they're a little bit slower. With the Gryphons, they're a bit faster, so it makes more sense for them to have a need to bank up points. So I raised their cap up to 300, like you see there. They can get max TP 4. This essentially just means that they're able to use more of their abilities, just more constantly. The Gryphons are drastically faster, but as you can see, they're going to be hitting about half as hard, if not more than that. So they're at a very significant power disadvantage, but they do have the advantage as far as speed goes. So at many times, they may be able to take 2 turns to the dragon's 1. But the dragons are quite a bit sturdier. I believe it's like 100 extra health that they have, plus their abilities and hits in general are going to be a lot more devastating. I'm hoping we'll be able to see all of them. As far as the Gryphons went, I did half of them. Since they needed TP4, they had exactly 11 abilities that they used. So half of them have Feather Step, half of them have... what was the other one? Aerial Resonance, I believe. That was the one I was replacing. Oof. Yeah, personally, my bet is towards the Scaled Herd here, just because of the sheer power advantage, especially because of times like this. Oof. Yeah, that's pretty rough right there. So all of them have Tactician too. All of them have all of their abilities. So they've all got their breath ability, their AoE ability, the ability to fly if they want it, their area, well, any resonance abilities. And there we go, there's the first one to the dragons. As well as a few others. Oh yeah, they also have not Eviscerate, but Disembowel, which is basically an attack scaling move. So there we go, they're already down 2. So the Gryphons have their life-stealing ability, they have their stunning ability, they have their AoE, and they also have the ability to move really far. So they're far better for hit and runs, but unfortunately they're getting very, very, very severely ganged up on here. Just due to the speed difference between these two, they're basically going to be going, you know, full team after full team, so as it goes in these situations, it's arguable that, that going first is actually a pretty drastic disadvantage. Just because they would immediately get hit. But let's see how this pans out, you know? They still might pull it back. They've got a few with TP moves. There's a lot of dragons clumped up here. They might be able to do some cool stuff. And they've still got backup coming in. I would assume they're probably going to go for Hurricane or any of their other moves in the next turn here. Just because they are clumped up, so if they can take out 1 or 2 of them, that would potentially still balance out this fight, so it's not necessarily done yet. Yeah, see, those ones are already getting 2 movement turns per their previous one, but unfortunately they're taking either equal or, well, they're taking losing engagements in each of these cases anyway. They don't really... They're okay as far as evasion goes, but unfortunately the dragons are still pretty accurate. So you won't really see them evading that much. They're pretty much just going to go 1-to-1. We've also got Sprogmos here, so that's basically free damage. Hopefully they're going to go for Hurricane. Yeah, there they go. There we go. That is a friggin' crap load right there. They're going to go for another one. Question is it going to be enough? Because they're hitting their own guys too. And it's throwing off all of their directions, not that it really matters too much in this case. It's just, yeah, as soon as they get out of range, that's the problem. Moo! I don't know why I love the idea of friggin' mooing dragons so much. Yeah, this is going pretty one-sided so far, I must say. Just, yeah, the AI's initial thought is always, you know, gotta go and get a hit first. By the way, both of their AIs in both cases are set to Vanguard, so they won't really approach until they see the other guy starting to approach somewhat. So each of them, as you saw, were kind of inching up their units as the fight went on. Yeah, it seems like the resonance abilities here are also playing a pretty big part. You're getting about 40s off those things. Oof. Yeah, there's Disembowel. Ugh. This is kind of a slaughter. Yeah, another one that Vin was requesting was to see fairies and dragons. So, yeah, that one's actually almost done too. Unfortunately, the save file that I was using for that wound up in the wrong spot. It's a whole thing. Basically, I was going to use the team that survived the Iron Man run. I was hoping to originally use the very, very end of that file, but they technically beat the game so far, so they survived that far. Only 1 casualty over the course of the run, so yeah, so they're going to be in it. I wound up trying to make it using an older version of that same file, and then just kind of maxing everything out, but then kind of ran into the whole thing that I couldn't actually fill out the squad with the remaining party members, since that run was done with 9 units. And, well, it went down to 8. Unfortunately, ended up having to scrap that one after putting it all together. Just because it's saved at a really awkward part of the game, and I really don't feel like doing like 7 or 8 maps in order to gain access to recruiting more of them. So, you know, it's actually going to take less time just to just to move the save over to the system that I was doing all of this on. Oh, there we go. Finally, they knock one out. It's just, yeah, they're very good at damaging a lot of units very quickly, but they're not good at finishing them off, it would seem. And they're usually good for flying up there, doing a ton of damage, and getting out. Hurricane, if you use it on an empowered Griffin, is ridiculous. But unfortunately, they're not really keeping it up right now. Incidentally, that's what she said. But who will? I think this is about ready to call here. Come on, credit. Nope, he took care of him. Yeah, they keep going for Disembowel. If you're wondering what Disembowel is, since it's one of the few that's actually added to Beast units, basically Disembowel is a TP scaling skill move. So it's like a kill move that works as a skill. That's basically for dragons. And it's all great and nifty, and it's all hard-like. By the way, if you're wondering, it's coming out tomorrow, but I guarantee you there will be a question of, like, there's a Bahamut right here, why didn't you use this for the friggin' Bahamut thing for the FF10 team? Look at these two. Which one looks more like that one? Just be honest. That one's got 4 legs, and he's all pudgy. This one's looking like a big angry dragon guy. And got his wingling claws and everything. You just stick a weird frisbee on his back and just... what frisbee? That thing's like a friggin' satellite dish. You know, just go ahead and slap some DirecTV on his back and you're basically good. You got your FF10 Bahamut right there. Close enough. But yeah, no, I kid you not, that was actually bugging me last night, because like, I saw the name when I was putting this team together. Like, man, why didn't I use that? It was right there, and then I looked at the two of them, and like, yeah, I know exactly why I used that one. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, technically he's supposed to be the holy guy, but the dark one just kind of looks so much more like him, and gameplay-wise, they're functionally identical unless you're going for a very particular thing. They've got different debuffs that come with their abilities, but, you know. Come to think of it, I should probably show those, shouldn't I? Because those have changed. Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, all of these units were just given the stuff that they came with. So they were just hired out of the wild, their moves were finished up, and they just kept whatever items they came with. I figured that was the most honest way to do it. The only exception was I was short a couple of alacrity rings, because for some reason they didn't come with them. Well, they did come with them. I should say that the cheat that was in place capped it out at 10. It just basically constantly gave 10 of every item. So because 10 were in use, it couldn't add another one. So I just put seals on it. It's just accuracy. They've got pretty much 100% accuracy anyway, so it doesn't really do anything. But yeah, okay, so Evil Dead, let's see, does Wither, whereas Holy War does Leap. So there you go. If you're wondering about the difference, there you go. And another one bites the dust. Yeah, we thought we were going to be referencing the Scorpions with the Wield, but fortunately we're not. Going for different references here. Oh well. Friggin' old-timey music all the same. Unfortunately, they got made into chicken dinner. What can you do? So there's actually going to be a Griffin run coming up soon. I'm not sure when that's going to happen just yet, because stuff's been kind of chaotic lately, but probably after the IM run finishes up, or maybe a little bit before then. Kind of just when, I guess, Rakes was putting together a code, so I don't really have it just yet. But there was going to be like a fire-breathing Griffin in there and stuff, but the idea was just to go through the entire game using just Griffins and see how that goes. That should be pretty darn fun. I mean, so far we've done fairies. So far, working on the IM run, and then was going to do... Well, I know Panthericus was going to go do a lizard run. Was really tempted to do one of those as well. I actually started one on base game a long time ago, but that's another one of those ones that was just straight up cursed every time I tried to do it. Because I kid you not, 3 separate times I start doing a lizard run. Go and I, you know, get all the casters, get them with cokes. Was trying to do it without cheats. And, yeah, go and recruit them all. And then just, like, save file transfer mistakes happen every single time, because when you're transferring around stuff for the Vita, which is what I do my base game runs on, you'll often run into an issue where, you know, it'll always ask you about overwriting stuff, and you think it's just fine, and then suddenly they're referring to a completely different file. So, there we go. The Gryphons managed to get 2 of the dragons, but it was pretty darn one-sided. Again, they're far better at taking on large clumped-up groups and squishy units and all that, but there you go. So, oh, you know what? I actually never noticed this detail. That flag burns away over time. I always thought it was just the same thing, and it flaps back and forth, but look at that. It's just going away and going away. That's really cool. The more you know, right? Okay, anyway, next up will be, what was it? FF10 versus FF8. And then that's followed by probably Fairies vs. Dragons. So, see you then.